Welcome back to the channel, guys. In this video, I'm going to talk about passive income and the myths and truths that come with it. Obviously, I've talked a lot about passive income on this channel, and if you're new to the channel or you're new to personal finance, basically, to really simplify it, passive income is something where you can put in the work up front and then still receive compensation for it as time goes on. And when you hear things like Jeff Bezos earns $230,000 a second, you've got to think he's got to have some sort of downtime at some point throughout his life. So obviously he's earning some sort of passive income. And even if you don't want to earn $230,000 a second or you're not capable of it, one or the other, whichever you choose, you've got to think, well, by creating a passive income source, it's going to be great because it's either A, going to allow me to escape my 9-to-5 job if I really stick with it, or B, it's just going to give me additional income and I can invest more, maybe retire early, or just have more income. And like I just said, although this sounds great, I guarantee you most of the people watching this video or most people out there aren't going to take the time and effort to start a passive income source. Mainly because of some of these myths I'm going to talk about in a minute. And also, I just don't know if a lot of people have the discipline to stick with creating that passive income source. The first myth about passive income that we're going to cover is that passive income is completely passive. Everyone really just wants to get out of bed in the morning and just read the paper, read books, watch TV, and make 6 figures a year. But it really doesn't work like that. Take a blog or a YouTube channel, for example. If you continue to put out content, people are going to continue to come to your page and more people are going to continue to come, and eventually they're going to stumble on past posts or past videos, which is where the passive income part comes in. But if you stop putting out content, then it's going to be a little bit different. Even if you have 2 million subscribers, granted, you're going to be okay for a little while, but eventually there's going to be less and less traffic and less people are going to come, and it's going to continue to decrease your income if you don't keep up with it and work on it. The same thing is going to apply even if you're using stocks as a source of passive income. If you're researching good companies, taking profits when you need to, and just paying attention to the overall market, you're going to be doing very well and you're going to be making a good amount of money. But if you decide to scale it back, you stop paying attention, you stop working on it, then you're obviously not going to have that passive income because you're just not putting in the work anymore. Passive income does require a lot of work, especially early on in the process. And basically the bottom line is, although you're going to get paid for the work you've done before, you need to continue to work very hard on the work that's coming, or more content, or more of whatever you're doing, because you just need to keep going and keep striving for more. The second myth about passive income is that you're going to make money immediately. If you look at guys on YouTube like Grant Stephan, Nate O'Brien, or Financial Education, they didn't start off making a lot of money immediately. Graham talks about how he was excited when he used to make $1 a day. Nate O'Brien was excited when he made $1,000 his first year. And Financial Education was excited. I believe he made $2,000 his first year. So clearly they didn't make a lot of money at first, and it took them a while just to get to that point. Never mind what they make now, that's a completely different story. I think it even took them 2 years to eclipse the money they were making at their jobs. And if you look at really any side hustle or any business, when you first started, are you really going to be making money immediately? If you take Nike, for example, I read the book Shoe Dog, I believe it's called, by Phil Knight. When he talks about how Nike wasn't even profitable for the longest time, it wasn't even called Nike, it was actually called Blue Ribbon for the longest time. I bet a lot of guys didn't even know that. But he talks about how Nike just didn't make any money and how they were constantly stressing for years and years and years. But I think Nike's doing okay now, if you know what I mean. But the bottom line is, when you first start something, you're not going to be that good at it. If you first start something like day trading, chances are you're not going to be that good at it at first. Maybe your TA is a little off, maybe you make some bad trades, you don't recognize the patterns you need to recognize. If you first start investing in stocks, maybe you make some bad investments, this company's not as good as you thought, maybe you get some FOMO, etc., etc. If you first start a YouTube channel or a blog, first thing that's going to happen is maybe your videos aren't that good, maybe you're awkward talking in front of the camera, maybe your grammar's not that good in your blog. If you first start playing a sport, whether it's basketball, soccer, baseball, golf, chances are you're not going to be that good at it, and it can take years and years and years to get very good at that. This is where the discipline comes in. If you truly believe with whatever you're working on that it's going to help you in the long run, then you're going to continue to work on it until it becomes something great. But if you have a short-term outlook and say you start a YouTube channel and each video only gets like 30 views for the first however long, then it's not going to be worth it to you and you're not going to continue on with it. In saying that, my recommendation would be, with starting a passive income source, know at first it might seem like a waste of time, but over time it's going to grow into something great and it's really going to help you in the long run. The third myth about passive income is it's easy. People out there think that people who have a successful YouTube channel, people that have a successful blog, or people that invest in stocks thinks that it takes about 30 minutes a day, maybe even less, 30 minutes every couple of days, and it just blooms into something great automatically. And in reality, that's not true at all. These videos that I make here that you're watching right now, in all reality, take at least 5 to 6 hours to make. Videos like Matt Diavello or Thomas Frank, one of those two, a lot of times I could even see those taking a week or two to make. So you're probably thinking, where does all that time go? What do I spend doing that takes so long? Well, first I've got to come up with the idea and write the script. That can easily take an hour or two because not every time it just comes to me immediately. I want to make sure it's a topic I want to talk about and something that I think is very important. Then I've also got to do research on the pictures and what I want to say in the script. That can also take about an hour. And then I also have to film, which takes about 30 minutes to an hour. And then I got to edit, which takes easily 2 hours, could be 3 hours, could be more. That video I posted about retirement with the two of me in it, I'll post it on the screen. That video, just the editing, took at least 5 hours. It took me a very long time to do it. Granted, as you get better with it, the less time it will take. So when I first started editing it, I can't speak. When I first started editing, it really took me a long time because I didn't know all the controls. But as I got used to it, it definitely cuts down the time and you become more efficient. But I will say that if you are going to start a side hustle, passive income source, some sort of business, it's very important to do it in a field you're passionate about because it's just not going to be something you're going to want to stick with. Obviously, I enjoy talking about personal finance and it's not really a topic that is condoned in society. It's more of a taboo topic, I guess you could say, for some better terminology there. So I talk to a camera in my room by myself and whoever wants to watch and listen can. And I also enjoy editing videos. I think it's really cool how I can put two of myself in a video or I can do all these different jump cuts and transitions. I just genuinely enjoy doing it. It doesn't feel like work. And I think that's very important when you start some sort of side hustle or business. The fourth myth about passive income is that it's hard. And now you might be thinking, wait, what? Didn't he just say a myth was that it's easy? The third myth about passive income is that it's easy.
Yes, he did.
Although passive income is not easy by any means, it's also not hard. Anyone can pick up a camera and start filming. Anyone can start a blog. Anyone can start a side hustle. Anyone can start a business. Anyone can research any of these things. It's something anyone can do and everyone has the access to do it, just not everyone does it. So now you might be thinking, well, if anyone can do it, why doesn't anyone do it? And this comes back to the discipline factor. When they don't see the progress, when they don't see the success, when they don't see the immediate growth in income, they think, well, this is stupid. This just isn't for me. Yada, 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 et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. When in reality, you just got to stick with it and keep moving forward until it grows into something great. The fifth myth about passive income is that you need money to start. And this is in no way true. If you want to go and buying real estate properties, and even that you really don't need a ton of money for, you just need enough for the down payment, you need to know how to manage them. But that's a completely different topic. But if you've ever read the book $100 Startup, there's tons of side hustles and passive income sources in that book that you can start. And it's really mind-blowing and it really opened my mind about all these different easy ways to start a business. Anyway, although you can buy your way into passive income, you can also invest your time, which is just as good in a way. If you want to start a blog, how much does that cost? Not much. If you want to start a YouTube channel, how much does that cost? Not much. If you invest your time and you spend and give 110% at whatever you're doing, it's really hard to not succeed to some degree. And maybe you don't think that way, but I personally feel like if you put all your effort in, it's really hard to not come out on top at some point. And the sixth and final myth we're going to talk about is that you have to be an expert. People don't want to start some sort of passive income or side hustle or business because they're unknowledgeable enough. And well, the first thing I say to them is, why don't you do some research or why don't you look into it? And usually I get hit with,
I don't do that, nope.
And the second thing I say to them is, why don't you just start it anyway? If you really put 110% into it, chances are you're going to feel good about yourself because of what you're producing and you're going to build your self-esteem. You're going to learn a lot about yourself. You're going to learn a lot about your business or side hustle. You're going to learn a lot about your niche and you're just going to keep growing. And in all reality, your first couple videos, posts, products, whatever, it's just not going to be that great. That's the fact. You're not going to be an expert from the jump. You're not going to hit the ground running all the time. But as long as you continue to innovate, produce high quality products, or just keep going, you're going to eventually come out on top and you're going to keep getting better and better and better. The power of starting is more powerful than anything else in the world. Starting is the key to everything in life. You just have to begin. And saying that, guys, that's the end for this video. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.